stifle his gift. He refused to dilute it. He refused to deny it. Many of us, God calls us and gives us something, and we check with other folk. Get their opinion. What do you think? What our family think? Like God needs a cosigner to call you to do something. Jordan just prophesied and let God do the rest. And because of that, this young man has been able to make kings and queens and royalty in Africa, all the way to common people around this country, see the prophetic vision and rise and become wealthy and powerful and strong. I know him and his family well. And I'm telling you that there's never been a prophecy that he or the prophetess Deborah has given me that has not come into being. Sometimes they would say something, and I say, I know that's way out. And then it would happen. I was recently at the church, and prophetess Deborah told me something, and about 3 weeks later, I was in a William Morris office at Beverly Hills, and they put the exact deal on the table. All I can say is Jordan. They said, what'd you say? I said Jordan, because they always on the mark. And we don't celebrate his birthday tonight just because we are being cordial. We celebrate it because in celebrating him, we celebrate the strength and the light he has given us. To celebrate Jordan is to celebrate you, is to celebrate how you've been lifted up and picked up and turned around. He represents the best in our nature, E. Bernard Jordan. And lastly, in this trilogy tonight is the one that comes in his footsteps. Very few people have been given the opportunity to be on the cutting edge of two areas in one lifetime. Reverend Run was part of trailblazing a cultural revolution that has forever changed the music world and world culture. I remember when rap started and got a little popular in the 70s with Run DMC and Sylvia Robinson, and then people said, well, that is not going to last. 4 or 5 years later, they said, well, there's a little bump, but it'll go away. By the 80s, the corporations had tried to absorb it and own it. And Run was at the forefront of what changed music forever. And to where now kids that are billionaires in the suburbs are wearing baggy pants and rapping like they're in the hood, because it no longer became a ghetto rap, it became a cultural phenomenon. And it started with the artistry of Reverend Run, but God wasn't through with him yet. He took him from that stage and put him on another stage, the prophetic stage. And one would say, well, why would you use your stardom to go in a controversial lineage of Ike, Coda, and Jordan? But if you understood that he had the nerve to take on the music industry, he certainly had the nerve to take on the religious establishment. It was just another revolution that Run was in front of, and he got in line with Bishop Jordan to push through the doors of theology, just like he helped with his partners in Run DMC and his brother Russell Simmons. So he is qualified. He has paid his dues. He's earned the right to walk that road because he's proved that only stormtroopers can handle the storm. If you need a stormtrooper, Reverend Run is a stormtrooper, and he's qualified to walk in that light. Give a big hand to Reverend Run. I know all the guests have been acknowledged, and as I present our bishop, I must particularly acknowledge myself, our Archbishop Wilbert McKinney. I call him the Pope, who has guided us, and Reverend Womack and others. But let us salute the Pope of our Black Vatican, Elam Church. You can put Archbishop McKinley, he can go to Harvard, and they will have to take out their notepads and take notes. I brag about him all over the world. But now, to continue the program, we want all of you to be prepared to stand and rise. There will come a day that you will be asked, were you alive at the time that this man walked the earth and cast pearls of wisdom and shine light in dark places? It doesn't matter who holds political office if someone is standing on the prophetic stage, speaking truth to whomever is there. I have no fear or trepidation as long as I know that this man is functioning and moving, because through him flows